All right, good Monday morning. Obviously, the shop is now all closed up. Got that on, just in case. Gator will be in here till hunting season's over. Got my heat on, which it's not on at the moment. So, today's video, I'm trying to think of a good title. It's probably going to be something like, I'm probably going to piss some of you off. So let's sit down for this one and piss some of you off. So in a previous video, I don't know if it was my last one before the Chelsea one. Oh, speaking of which, the Chelsea one, hang on. Let me just do this real quick, because there's some of you that are a little technology deficient, which I admit I am too, but yeah, let me turn the volume down so you don't start hearing my intro. I won't name any names. Michael. Wink, wink. But, alright, so, like, here's the Chelsea video. So you push on it, and it starts, See the word more? Push on more. And there you go. There's the link, because people keep asking me, where's the link? Donate here. There's the Grumpy Farmer Apparel link, my address, my email, all that happy horse shit. So you push on. The link gives you your choice of how you want to open it. I'll open it in Safari. And there you go. Lemoyne Cross Country and Track Trainathon. And you just scroll down through. They've gotten almost $1,600 so far from 35 donors. I know there's a number of you that have donated. But anyways, that's how you do it. You just push on more if you're on your phone. I don't know what it's like on a computer. So, but that's for the, technological deficient people. Michael, wink, wink. So anyways, today's video, like I said, 2-3 videos ago, I don't know, I gave him, I said I wasn't a fan of RFK Jr. And I had some people really not like that. So I'm just going to show you a few things, all right? RFK Jr., for one, in an interview, I remember watching it, and he made the comment that he was a Democrat, and he agreed with the Democrat Party 95% of the time. Okay, he's pissed off at the Democratic Party, which is part of the reason he endorsed Trump, and now he's going to get, a pretty big position and whatnot. But he made the comment, and he's made it multiple times, about how, our food is killing people in this country. And slow down, I'll get to that. Our life expectancy keeps dropping while other countries' life expectancies keep going up. He says, since the 1990s, our life expectancies have been doing nothing but declining. All right, here's a little graph for you. From 1860 through 2020. Looks to me like it just keeps going up, keeps going up, keeps going up. Then at the very bottom in 2020, she dipped down a little. Yeah, she's on her way back up now, but she dipped down for a few years. 2020, let's think about it. What happened in 2020? Oh, yeah. It was that thing Dr. Fucky there, Lord Fauci predicted in 2017 when Trump became president. Yeah, we're going to leave that alone because, if I don't, you're only allowed to say certain things on social media. And, if I say the wrong thing, then I might get accused of this again. Your channel wasn't accepted for monetization. What you should do, I don't know if you can read the small print, harmful content. Content that focuses on controversial issues, and that is harmful to viewers. Yeah, so for you newbies, I'll just explain that real quick. At least 2 years ago, we tried to monetize because we figured, why not? Capitalism, right? And they said no, but they never would tell us why. And here a few months back, I was talking about that again. And obviously they're watching and listening, because out of the blue, we got that email, Barb did, that said why we didn't get accepted, because we're harmful. Quite sure it's not the farming part that's harmful. Quite sure it's the part that, I'm a conservative and I'm not afraid to express my opinions and my views that we're all entitled to express. And it seems amazing how on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the, the fucking social media platforms, the libtards can express whatever they want. And that's not harmful. Yeah, okay. So back to pissing some of you off in my RFK Jr. thing. I agree. There's shit in our foods that shouldn't be in our foods. And don't quote me if I don't get the numbers right, but what is it? The red dye number 40 or whatever? Why do we need it? The yellow dye number 5, I think it's called. Why do we need it? There's some bullshit in food to make it supposedly look better and taste better that's a petroleum based. Why do we need petroleum based shit in our food? I'm going to get up and walk around. Because it's hard for me to just sit. I just got back from the chiropractor too, and I almost feel worse. But anyways, MSGs, look it up. I'm not going to go into it. It's just some bullshit to make food supposedly taste better, Why do we need to add all this stuff to our foods? But here's my problem. Some of you seem to think that, well, I'll go open the door because there's a cornfield across the road that's obviously been harvested. Some of you seem to think that, the corn that came off that cornfield just magically jumped into your cornflakes box, and all the bad things that are in there are because of that cornfield. First of all, that corn didn't go anywhere near a cornflake box. Okay? It went to feed, be ground up and fed to cows, chickens, pigs, etc., animals. Or ethanol, that's another big thing. Okay, you have to grow the specialty corn, like white corn and shit like that for food stuff. Yes, there's the vegetable oils, there's corn oil, there's soybean oil, canola oil, etc., etc., etc. I know everybody thinks those are horrible for us and killing people and blah, blah, blah. Why don't we go back to having kids play dodgeball in school rather than sitting in front of a fucking screen all day, whether it's a computer screen, their phone screen, a TV screen when they get home. Jimmy and I mentioned this in a live stream. Those of you old enough to remember the rope in the gym that went up to the, like here, if I had a rope going up to the ceiling, that we used to climb the rope, that was good exercise. And what was underneath us? Like a 3 or 4 inch thick wrestling mat. So if you fell, but we can't do that anymore neither because that's, harmful. God forbid kids get exercise. Look at pictures of people, and those of you who are old enough to, remember some of the 60s and 70s and whatever. Look at pictures of people from back then compared to today. I mean, how many fat people did you see? And again, full disclosure, I could lose 20 pounds. My doctors always tell me that. But I've also been the same weight for quite a few years now. But my point is, for those of you who are believing everything RFK Jr. is throwing out to you, you almost sound like a fucking liberal who believed everything that the left was throwing out. And I say that because I just showed you that he lied about our life expectancy. I mean, before, in 2019, before the thing that Dr. Fucky, predicted, imagine that, I think it was 79 years old, 78.8 or 78.9. Women was like 81 or something. Women lived to be 3 to 4 years older than men. So the average was like 79, rounded off. I think it was 78.9 or something. Okay, there's foreign countries that are less than that. There's foreign countries that are more than that. So, is there shit in our food? Yes. Okay, now let's get to the farming thing where, we're killing people with our GMOs, genetically modified organisms. It's such a nasty name. It makes people think of, scientists in their white coats, their lab coats, with syringes filled with some sort of black fluid, and they're out there sticking it into that ear of corn and squeezing it in or something. Okay, our pesticides like Roundup. That's not really called Roundup because that's a brand name. It's called glyphosate, okay? Here's a, what is this? 16-ounce bottle of my Arnold Palmer that I drink. I use 20 ounces of glyphosate. So that's 4 more ounces than what goes in there. So what, let's bring it up to here maybe? Something like that? I don't know. Throw it back in the garbage because it's empty. I use 20 ounces of that with 10 gallons of water because I spray 10 gallons of water per acre. So that means 2 of those 5-gallon pails of water with 20 ounces of that sprayed over an entire acre. I spray that when the corn is 5 to 6 inches tall. So apparently some of you believe that 2 months later, when that corn is producing the ear on it, that plant is, you know, that glyphosate is sat there and now it's getting sucked up in and going into that ear of corn. It's like the Roundup lawsuits that you see on TV. Where are they all filed? Libtard states like California. You know, I remember the one lawsuit, the guy who worked for a school district in their grounds department, and he apparently sprayed glyphosate on weeds around the school. And then he only worked there 2 years. 10 years after he was there, he got some sort of cancer. So he jumped on the ambulance chasing bandwagon because he saw the ads on TV, and he got millions of dollars for it. So I guess if anybody who's ever worked with the stuff, you know, us farmers, who the majority of farmers live to be in their 80s and 90s, ever get cancer, I guess we should jump on the bandwagon. You know, and now we see it for all sorts of things, the ambulance chasing commercials. It's just, I don't know. But I had one person, and I'm not going to call you out by name, but I had one lady who made multiple comments, at least 3. One was that she bought 3 of my shirts, and I said, thank you, appreciate that. Another one was how when I talk about this stuff, this is the part of me that she hates, okay? And the third comment was that I guess I'm okay with killing my grandchildren, which I don't have any yet. But if I did, I'm not okay with killing my grandchildren or anyone's grandchildren. That's fucking lefty lunatic bullshit right there. So I've talked with like Jeff Ramo, the One Happy Farmer on YouTube and whatnot, AJ, you know, Aya Farmer on YouTube. Fuck it. Do away with every tool in our toolbox that farmers have. Do away with GMOs. You know, even though those of you eating your seedless watermelon need to fucking wake up a little and realize that's a GMO. There was never such a thing as a seedless watermelon. How many of you like nectarines? You realize nectarine was a cross between, let me see if I can get this right, I think it was a pear and a plum. Pear and a peach, pear and a plum, something like that. That's how a nectarine was made. That's called genetically modified. Using 2 different things to make a new thing. Happens all the time. If you think you're still eating the same potatoes, tomatoes, lettuce, anything that was around in 1950, that's not happening, because the world would be starving right now if we were. But hey, fuck it. Take it all away. Take away all of our pesticides. Let's go back to what we used 50 years ago and see how you like that nasty ass shit that we used to use. Okay? Let's not blame our society getting sicker, even though our life expectancy still is growing. So are we really getting sicker? Let's not blame that on, you know, letting our kids get fucking fat because they sit behind a screen all day. Same thing with adults, because, oh, their life is so hectic they don't have time to exercise. Okay, whatever. I mean, I know part of it is added shit into our food that doesn't need to be added to it. And I hope RFK Jr. addresses those things. But if Trump lets him go too far, I'm telling you, those of you who live in the city, you better go buy your couple acres of fucking, you know, ground somewheres out in the country right now so that you can put a little fence up to put your cow and your few chickens and maybe a pig in and grow a pretty big garden, because I guess you want to rely on getting food from other places, because it ain't going to come from here if we're going to go backwards to the 1950s. That's just not going to happen, folks. You want to go backwards with your computers and your televisions, and you want to go back to where there was no television? Hell, let's go back to when my father was a kid, when they had no electricity. If you want to go backwards because you think that's great. Yep. It's kind of like the new show on Paramount there with, or Paramount Plus with Billy Bob Thornton, that landman. Anybody watching that? About the big oil industry. Last night's show was great because it showed all these windmills. Go watch it. I'm not going to go into explaining it, but he did a fucking excellent job of explaining the fact that we aren't never going to survive in this society without fossil fuels, without oil. But we don't need petroleum-based something or other put into our food. I agree 100% with that. So, I'm just saying. So, sitting back down again. Then there was another person who I think was just a flyby coming to, I think it was that same video, that, well, maybe your Trump government can take the nitrates out of my water, you know, because, again, us farmers, we're polluting the water also. So here's a video for you from 6 years ago from the Millennial Farmer. I'm just going to show you the title. I won't say never. I still watch some of his videos. I don't watch as many as I used to because it's gotten so commercialized, which, whatever. You want to be sponsored by Simply Safe and everything else, that's capitalism. But right there, farm drain tile puts, whoops, doesn't even show the whole title. Farm drain tile puts state's water at risk. From 6 years ago. There's the title. Go watch it. Okay, because in his state, the libtards were trying to, you know, go after the farmers, basically. So here's what Zach did, and I thought it was brilliant. He sent like 4 or 5 water samples in to be tested. He shows in the video, well, holding a bottle of water right underneath a drain tile and then drinking out of it. Matter of fact, I got to take a drink. I'm feeling dry, so hang on. So he holds a bottle of water right underneath the drain tile in a field, coming out of a field, drinks out of it. He sent one from there, a sample from there, a sample from, I think, the ditch it goes into, a sample from a pond or something that the ditch goes to, and some creek. Anyways, it was like 4 samples. Go watch the video. One of the samples was right here. Spring water, you know, bottled water you buy from the store. That was one of the samples he sent in. When he got the results back, he showed them. He showed the papers, so it was legit from, you know, the company that did the sampling, or did the testing, I should say. The test with the highest nitrate level is right there. The bottled water that we all drink that think is so fucking healthy for us. The highest nitrate level was the bottled water. The lowest nitrate level, if I remember correctly, was the one coming out of the tile. Drain tile is a fucking good thing because we just had, I took my rain gauge down so it wouldn't freeze, but places around us have gotten 6 inches to a foot of snow. We didn't get any snow. We got 3 to 4 inches of rain. You don't want water ponding and then you get more rain and it pushes that ponding water off, you know, into road ditches and other places. You want the water to be able to drain down through the soil. But hey, I mean, whatever. I mean, you can think we're killing you there too. I'm to the point I don't give a fuck. So what this video mainly is for is to tell you you'll probably get a couple more hunting videos and then they're going to slow down. They ain't going to be the every 4-day thing. I don't know how often I'll put a video out between now and spring, but all I'm saying is if some of you think we're fucking killing you, whatever. You know, I don't give a fuck if my subscriber numbers, if you all leave tomorrow or leave when this video comes out and it goes down to 0, because it'll make Barb's and my life easier, because then we won't even have to worry about making videos. But if you think that us farmers are killing you, then 1, fuck off. 2, leave. Don't even be subscribed here. Are there shitty farmers out there? Yep. Just like there's shitty cops, shitty firemen, shitty lawyers, shitty doctors, shitty teachers, shitty everything. About 2% of every profession is probably shitty. But to blame the other 98% for, in our case as farmers, trying to kill you, as this one woman, or trying to kill your grandchildren, yeah, whatever. I mean, I don't care anymore. But it blows my mind when there's so many people that just think everything RFK Jr. says is golden, because you act like the same sheep on the left that thought everything there. You don't think that he's, pretty pissed off at the Democratic Party for what they did to him, and that's why he endorsed Trump? I mean, I don't know. He's Mr. Environmentalist, but Trump is drill baby drill. Does that sound like something a Mr. Environmentalist would get behind? I mean, use this fucking thing for more than a hat rack. And I don't know. I'm just done. So there's your video. Think for yourself, I guess. Be pissed off at me if you want. Tell me I'm killing your grandchildren. Whatever. You want to go back to the 1950s? I'm all for it. Fuck it. Let us just do away with everything, every bit of technology that we farmers get or are using right now, and let's go back. Because here's a wonderful thought for you. I was figuring this up the other day. So I've sold, I think it's like 15 tractor trailer loads of corn this fall, to have room and whatnot. They're averaging about $1,200 less than they were last year. You do the math. I think I've sold 4 loads of beans, 3 or 4 loads of beans. They're averaging around $2,200 less than what they were last year. You do the math. Tell me how long, be like your boss coming to you and saying, going to take 40% of your paycheck away, but deal with it. Don't worry about your expenses that haven't gone down, might actually have gone up. You'll be all right. But so I get this email every day from the Helena company, from this Jody Lawrence, who's a, market expert. And one last week said, well, I replied to this person and said, I just read that exports are up like 32% from last year. Why is the price so shitty? Their response back was, well, that just tells you how bad exports were last year. Okay. My response back was, then explain to me why corn was over $1 a bushel more at this time last year, and beans were between $2 and $3 a bushel more last year at this time. I'm still waiting. Crickets. Yeah. There's some big fucking going on right now in agriculture, and I'm not sure what it is, but I sure hope Trump doesn't continue down the big fucking path that we're on, because I'm telling you folks, I don't care how good of a farmer you are, those numbers that I just gave you, that dog don't hunt. A couple years of that, going to be an awful lot of farmers that don't survive. I'm just being honest with you. So here's your one more thing. Of course, I'm a t-shirt grifter, as the one person said, so, push on the Grumpy Farmer apparel link. But what drives me nuts is when farmers go after each other. Now, I know some of you will say, well, you went after the organic guys this summer in a video. Yes, I did. Because a couple of them stopped by and went after me for being a conventional farmer, because I use tillage. So I showed, all the weeds that were in cornfields, and you can cultivate 1,000 times if you want. You're not going to kill the weeds that are growing in the actual row of corn. So that's being chopped. That cow's eating that. That's going into your organic milk that you're paying 2 to 3 times more for because you think it's great for you. Whatever. That's your prerogative. But what kills me is, when the regenerative guys go after us, or the no-tills, or the no-tills go after somebody, it makes no sense. The farmers going after each other. The true, honest no-till guys will tell you they have to till once in a while, because if they don't, you just keep, like that field across the road, I'll open the door again. Those corn stalks that are left there, the short little 6-inch ones, those and the corn cobs and the corn leaves and all the rest of the debris from the corn plant are going to break down over the winter. And then next spring, when I hit that with my high-speed disc, that's going to break up those corn stalks. All that stuff goes into the soil. That's good for the soil. That's, it's kind of like composting. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but it's good for the soil, putting that stuff back into the soil. Okay? But if you never do that, you just, like a corn on corn no-till person, that becomes like a mat. I mean, that'd be almost like taking your floor mat out of your car, throw it on your lawn, and leave it there for a few weeks, and then pick it up off your lawn. Do you think the grass was going to grow through it? No. It's probably going to kill the grass under it when it gets, because it gets no sunshine. It gets no, sunshine to get into the dirt, to warm up the soils and whatnot. I mean, you need that organic matter getting into the soils, but I don't understand it. You want to be a guy who tills conventional like me? Great. You want to be a no-tiller? Great. You want to be an organic? Great. You want to be a regenerative? Great. But this farmer's going after farmers. I mean, we got enough. We're like, they always said we're 2% of the population. No, we're like 1.6% of the population. So we already got 98.4% of the population, or a lot of them, going after us. Doesn't make any sense for us to be going after each other, that mine's better than yours. Whatever. Nobody does everything the same way. I know I've been accused of, from the one guy who called me a cocksucker that one time, that you think everything you do is the right way. I've never fucking said that. Go back and watch videos, douchebag. So, but there's your one more thing. So, if this comes out before Thanksgiving, I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. I'm not sure when Barb will put it out, but it is what it is.